Hello everybody, Lex Veldhuis has gone home. He is done here at EPT Paris, so I'm going to take over vlogging duties. I don't have a camera crew. Lex obviously has very well produced, wonderful, great vlogs. Check them out, lexveldhuis.tv if you haven't already. I will be me on my phone. So today is a $22 single re-entry tournament. It started about an hour and a half ago. I'm going to go down, I'm going to register, and welcome to Spraggy's EPT vlog. Are you excited to play today, Marley? That's a yes. Chasing the stardom, chasing the fame.
Any thoughts about your table so far?
Just sat down, got 50k, 100 blinds deep, you know, just out here doing it. Big vlog today. Focus in, play my best game.
Awesome. Good luck.
All right, so what is a poker vlog without some poker hands? Every time people post vlogs, you go on like Parisian lifestyle and everyone hanging out, having a good time behind the scenes. So like, no, show me a 30 big blind reshove spot in a live poker tournament. So here we are. Start with 50,000. Blinds are 250, 500. I joined the table on the late reg with 50,000 chips. So it's a deep stack tournament, 2,200 euro buy-in. I opened 7-9 of clubs in the cutoff and a big blind defense. So at 250, 500, I make it 1,100 big blind calls. Flop is 10-8 deuce with the 10-8 of clubs. So we flop an open-ended straight flush draw. Very happy with my hand. I think this is a board. There are lots of threats to the nuts. Those are just sort of draw heavy boards. So our 10x wants to go big. I think we are going to get some big bets here. So I decided to c-bet. It's like 2,400, 2,700 maybe. Close to the size of the pot. And my opponent raises to 7k off like 30k, so like 60 blinds. I could easily just run it. I could, and I nearly did just like slam it all in on the flop. But I think that, you know, both are probably fine merits to just playing in position. It's very easy for me just to be able to continue on the majority of turns. So we call the raise. And the turn is a jack. Very good. I make a straight, 5 in a line. Good hand. Opponent bets 11k and does this like live poker thing where has about like 24,000, 25,000 to start the hand, maybe a bit more actually, but bets 11 or 12,000 very quickly, throws the chips out, and then immediately like grabs the rest of their stack, which is like, I'm also putting this in, by the way. So obviously I turn straight without wanting to have any action killers, turns a river, I move all in, and opponent has 10-8, 10-8 has top 2 on the flop. And the river breaks, they don't make full house. They're eliminated, and I win whatever. I think they start with a hand like 30 something thousand. So I'm immediately up to 80k, and then we go on break. So Parker in the 2k as well.
2K players, yeah.
Yeah. How you feeling about it? Fucking over it. These are two men who have been buried on this trip. We're at the 10k several times.
Yeah.
We're working hard to come back, but surely we win eventually, no?
Yeah, you would think so. You just doubled up. I'm gonna double up as soon as we come back from break. Yeah, well, that's exactly what we're gonna do.
Yeah, hell yeah, homie.
Hell yeah.
As you used to say on the old. Remember when you streamed?
Yeah.
Remember when you streamed? That was sick, bro.
Us, by the way,
What?
going up. Yeah, that was pretty sweet back in the day. What do you want?
This is B-roll. This is what vloggers do, dude. It's B-roll. It's B-roll, yeah.
You wanna vlog me going to the bathroom?
Can we vlog you in the bathroom? Yeah. Get banned like Dr. Disrespect. Come on.
What? I look so short beside you always.
2 of the best looking guys.
Dude, 2 days in a row you didn't wear.
No, I'm in my t-shirt face. All right, first break.
What's that all about?
I'm just fucking trying to do a vlog here.
But why aren't you wearing your shirt?
I'm wearing a t-shirt today. First break. Focus in. It's about the poker. People want poker hands. Registered for 50,000 chips.
I don't want to listen to him.
200, 500. Get dealt a good hand. Got it all in. Guy had a good hand, but slightly worse than mine. I had a straight. He had 2 pair. Now I've got like 90,000 chips.
Congrats.
And you?
44.
Or below starting.
Played a lot of hands.
Below starting stack.
Didn't win chips.
And that's what it's all about. The main event trophy right there.
We will not get it.
But that's already we've already busted the main many times, so that's not for us. There's your break update. So coming back from that break, first break, I have a decent amount of chips, and then some problems set in. And this is something that's, after I bust this EPT Paris trip, after I bust the main, and then I played the satellite into the 10K, bust the 10K, and I played a few other tournaments. But there's definitely been a little sort of frustration, and when I'm registering like the 1Ks or this 2K late on, I feel myself playing like really quite spewy and very ill-disciplined, lack of patience or whatever it might be. And not even in a, I'm loosening up and I'll play a load of pots and I'll be aggressive and I'll like drive my stack in and apply pressure. Just like loose, passive shit poker kind of bad play, which is probably, you know, the worst way if I'm going to be spewy. So anyway, this hand then happens. I have like 80,000. I open 4-3 of diamonds in the hijack, which, you know, is a couple pips too wide. Button calls and the big blind calls. Flop is 10-8-4 with the 1 diamond. And at this point, I actually, in my mind, for whatever reason, think I have 5-3 of diamonds. I think either hand, 5-3 diamonds, 4-3 diamonds, fold pre, and check flop as played. Like 10-8 is pretty good for the imposition. Flatter's going to have Jack 10, Queen 10, King 10, Ace 10 on the button. Live players like to slow play some overpairs as well. Obviously going to have all the sets. And they're going to have hands like Jack 9 suited, Queen Jack, King Jack with overs and backdoor straight draws and things that pretty happy to call on the button. So I think a C-bet here is really shit. So I C-bet. It's 300, 600. And I make it 1,300. Call. So then on the flop, I bet like 2,200 into about 4K. And the button raises to 7,000. The graphics team will have all this. They'll get it right. The graphics will be here. Raises to 7,000, big blind folds. So the action's back on me. I double check my hand, realize I have bottom pair. And for some reason, with the backdoor diamonds and the way this guy has been playing quite a few pots, been raising me quite a bit, I'm like, maybe I want to stick around for one. Like, it doesn't feel like most players are going to raise a 10 here. I block the set with the 4. So he's really repping like 10-8 suited. It was a rainbow board as well, so it's like, you know, 2 of the 10-8 suited combos are covered. Maybe pocket 8s, of course, maybe pocket 10s, but I think that's inclined to slow play. So I decided to stick around. I call. Turn is a repeat 8, which I feel like is really good for me. It also brings the backdoor diamond, which is obviously great for me, and it takes out his value combos. So now he has fewer combinations at 10-8, he has fewer combinations at pocket 8s, so he's starting to 1, and his value range is starting to get a little bit more constricted. So I check, he bets 11,000. And part of my brain is like, just fold, just give up. You've got way better hands. Just call aces, kings, queen. You know, you have a 10. You block his value hands. But I decide, no, I'm stubborn as fuck. I pick up this flush draw. Obviously, you know, with the flush draw, I'm going to call. So I call again. The river is a 7, which is not a complete brick. I think maybe sometimes he could bluff like 7-9 and make a pair and check back. So he takes some of his bluffs out there. Sometimes he has Jack 9, makes it straight. Take out some of his bluffs there that turn into the nut straight. So I check, and he moves all in for about 35K. Close to the size of the pot, like not an unexpected bet from him. I think if he does obviously have the hands that he's representing, which are, you know, some strong 10s, so probably the strong 10, ace 10, and then pocket 4s occasionally, pocket 10s occasionally, 10-8 occasionally, pocket 8s occasionally, Jack 9 occasionally. And then, as I say, maybe slow plays like Jacks, Queens, Kings, pre-flop, or aces sometimes, and has that. But something about the hand, I'm like, I block the set, the 8's really good. Like, I don't even know if he raises Jack 9 on the flop and bluffs there. And something about it's like, man, and I love a hero call. And I'm like, I really want to hero call this off. But I don't. I fold, and I mean to fold face down, but as I'm folding, my hand flips over and reveals that I had the 4-3, and he immediately tables ace-king offsuit for the bluff, and I had the best hand. Which is obviously a really weird line by him. We expect a 3-bet pre-flop. It's very unusual to just like immediately raise the flop with this ace-king high type hand, and then barrel it off. But yeah, something about the hand was off. I didn't trust my gut, and I folded. So I get short, which means that going into the second break, after a couple other pots, I was down to 30-something thousand.
How's it going so far?
I got bluffed. How you doing? This is such a close. It's such a close shot. How you doing? How much you got?
160. Kicking
Wow.
ass.
Kicking ass. Break update. What do you got?
160 something, I think.
Very good. Firing.
Playing all the hands.
Playing as many hands as you can play. Yeah.
Fucking all sorts, going crazy, kicking ass, you know?
I've been playing lots of hands too, but I've been losing all of mine.
Oh my god.
30-something blinds coming back.
You're useless.
I am useless.
All right, so we come back from the second break. We got 30-something thousand. It's now it is like 501K or 600, 1200 because I remarked that I have about 30 big blinds. I decided I'm going to try and stop being spewy, just make good hands and get paid the way the table's playing. Very early on, I pick up ace jack of hearts under the gun. I make it 2500 at 1200 big blind, and the big blind calls. The flop is king 7-8, 3 hearts. We flop the nut flush. Very good hand. Stone cold nuts. check. Monotone board, a lot of my hands, you know, versus a big blind defend, he's going to have all the suited stuff. So a lot of my hands like jacks, queens, tens, nines, you know, queen jack of spades, these hands are all dead. And some of my hands, even like aces and ace king, sorry, my pairs aren't dead, but they're dead versus the flushes that he's going to have. So these monotone boards, typically we want to take small sizes or check. I have the nut flush. I decided to go for a small bet. I bet one blind. I bet 1,200 chips into about 6,000, and he tosses out a call. I think he's going to call anything with a heart in it, any pair, king 8-7, so any king 8-7, any straight draw, things like this. Maybe there's some raising if he has like some high hearts, but we can't really discount anything. And I think he's going to slow play some 2-pair sets, flushes as well. So the turn is a repeat 8, pairs the middle card, which I'm kind of happy about, because it means now that he's very, very happy with his 8s. He makes trips, and I don't think he's likely to fold a king. So he checks, I go for a bigger sizing, I go for like 6,400. He calls, rivers 3 of spades, complete brick. He checks, I shove all in for whatever I have left at this point, like 20 something K, pot size bet, and he takes about 20 seconds and calls with king jack with spade diamond. And I double up to like 60K, which is great. And now I'm on cloud 9 and I've spun it back up, and this is where my spurious nature settles back in, and I just start playing every pot again, and I'm playing every pot badly. I made a 4-bet bluff, went raise, 3-bet, 4-bet ace-7 of diamonds, and I got shoved on, which I think is okay, but probably like going after it a little bit too hard, potentially. I did actually look the spot up, and ace-7 suited is a pure 4-bet at those stack depths. If it's a heads up pot, but there was a call in the cutoff, so it was like over a squeeze or whatever, so it's like I gotta be a bit more careful. I preference some more high cards, so I'm definitely getting a little bit out of line. And then one hand before dinner break, disaster strikes, and for whatever reason, like there's no way I'm ever defending the way I play this hand. It goes raise, hijack, button calls, and I call 9-4 offsuit in the big blind. I'm already going to dinner. This is the last hand before dinner break. I could just fold and go and have my pizza and my pasta, you know, and a nice glass of red. But I don't. I decide I'll see a flop with 9-4 offsuit, and it's against the guy who bluffed me with ace king, and he's wild. He's playing pretty crazy. He's shown down some like hands that shouldn't be there. Flop is 10-8-7 rainbow. Check from me. The initial raiser, bets, fold, and I decide to call. I think here, if I'm going to continue, it's probably better to check raise my hand with the 9 and the 4. 10-8-7. I have it open ended. The 4 doesn't do anything for me. If I want to continue with a 9, like I continue like ace 9, king 9, queen 9 with or jack 9, hands that I don't really want to like check raise fold, but like 9-4, like I probably want to have some check raise bluffs here. The 4 is a bit of a dangler, so maybe I go for a check raise. I decide to check call, and the turn is repeat 8, so 10-8-7-8. I feel like this is a much better card for me than it is my opponent. He's opening in the hijack. He doesn't have offsuit 8x. He's stripped out some of the suited 8x. I'm going to have some offsuit 8x. I'm going to have all the suited 8x in the big blind. And even if he does have an 8, if he has a hand like ace 8 or king 8 suited, he might not even be a favorite to bet the flop. So there's big asymmetry in our range here, in that I have a lot of 8s. He doesn't have very many 8s. So this card is pretty good for me. I decide to lead, and I think this is probably the only street that's like fine. Once I get here, obviously pre is disgusting, flop's pretty bad, but whatever, mixed call and check raise probably. And then on the turn, I think it's fine. I lead big, and he just snap calls. There was a backdoor flush draw on this hand. The river is a queen, and I have like 20,000 left at 1,200 big blind just before dinner, and I go to shove whatever I have, like 30K. Honestly, I picked up the chips and I was about to bet, and he'd already got his chips in his hand to call. Like, maybe I could just like, you know, still have checked. He called me so fast, I felt like his chips were in the middle before mine were. So anyway, I shove, he calls. He has ace-10 for top pair, calls me down. Fine, of course, he's never going to fold this hand. We're really only trying to, like, I don't even know what he does call the turn and fold the river with. Like, ace-9, king-9, obviously queen-9 makes a pair, jack-9 makes a straight. So I don't know, it's like, it's pretty stupid by me. We're folding out some like backdoor diamonds that bet flop, like ace-2, ace-3, ace-4, ace-5, ace-6 of diamonds that bet the flop, turn a flush draw, peel, fold, and then we're folding out better 9x like king 9 or ace 9, but I have a 9 in my hand, so it's unlikely he has one of those hands, right? So it's given my fucking tournament life away, and it's been a big problem for me on this trip, sometimes just getting impatient. Fold pre, go to dinner, come back, have whatever, 40 blinds. But I dusted it, first bullet, dead.
This is a man who just busted the last hand before the dinner break because, shut the fuck up, Parker, you're laughing, will you? I defended 9-4 offsuit in the big blind 3 ways.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
What do you mean?
You played terribly both ways.
It's just another one of these hands that gets served up. They serve me these coolers. You know? You can't get away from it. And now I'm out on dinner break. Parker, how much you got? 140,000 from 50k starting.
Yeah.
And Marley is out of the 530. And we're going for dinner. Maybe I'm going to re-enter when I get back. First bullet, no good. We're on the streets of Paris. This is Spraggy Vlog. Hit like.
Get me off that right now.
What are your goals and ambitions headed back to after dinner break?
Win chips? I don't know.
Wow, this is a smart player, folks.
No worries.
Merci à vous, bonne soirée.
All right, so I have dinner with my wonderful wife, Marley, and my wonderful friend, Tonka. Maybe the editor will show you us now drinking wine. There we go. So I decided to go back and re-enter the 2200. You can buy in up to the end of the dinner break, so I get 50,000 chips, and we go back to 1,500 big blinds. So I still get like 35 blinds, which I do. Play a few pots. I made one call at the river where I defend a6, ace high board, small bet call, flush draw comes in on the turn, goes check, check. River bricks out, I check again, he pots, I'm like, whatever, call. He has ace 10, has me at kicked. Pretty miserable spot, like anyone competent, I have to call. He seemed competent, I call, hoping that he's going to start bluffing some hands again. I think when I check an ace, I still have a lot of very weak hands in my range. I probably have to call when I have an ace, so I do. But it puts me short. I then get it all in with ace jack of spades against ace king offsuit, and I river a jack to stay alive, which is very nice. Play a few other pre-flop pots, and like nothing really happens for a little while. Blinds go up, and then we're at big blind 2,500, and I have again about 40,000. There's a raise to 5,000. I shove my ace jack for about 40,000. Calls with pocket kings, and I spike an ace on the flop to again double up. So at this point now I have 80,000 at 2,500 big blinds. So we're back into like 30 something bigs. Very next hand, the person who raised with the kings is down to who I bad beat, has about 10,000 chips. So they raise to 10,000 chips. Victoria to my right makes it 25,000. I look down, pocket kings. I'm all in for my 80,000 chips. Player to my left starts going to the time bank and going, how much is this? How much is that? Oh, how much you got? Blah, blah, blah. Takes a little while, takes a moment, shoves all in. I'm pretty happy, honestly. I have two kings. I shove 30 something blinds, 32 blinds, 33 blinds over a 4 big blind shove and a 10 big blind ISO. And it folds back round to Victoria, who'd 3-bet. She folds, and we're on our backs.
Oh, wow. That's not good.
So 3 ways only.
So there you see, there it was. Just the aces behind me. So just as we get, like the first time we get a stack going in the tournament, I have kings, I move all in, aces behind me for whatever the pot was in the end, like over 200,000 chips. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. Today I'm going to go for brunch, lunch, and then I'm going to play the 2,200 euro buy-in 6 max event. It is Sunday here in Paris. I'm going home tomorrow. I'm going to play the tournament. Well, troops, we are back in the hotel room, which is never a good sign. I have busted the 2100 6 max here on the final day of EPT Paris in France. I registered with 50,000 chips, came in at 500, 1,000 big blinds, so I get 50 big blinds for the mathematicians amongst you. And played 2 hands of significance really. We'll go through them. I open at 600, 1,200. I open the button with 9, 7 of hearts to 2,500. The big blind defends after the small blind folds, so we're heads up to the flop, which has whatever, 2.5, 5, 5.6, 1,200 ante, 6,700 chips in the middle. And the flop comes king 10, 9, 1 heart. Opponent checks to me as a pre-flop aggressor. And this is probably a board looking back where I should bet my range. I should just bet every hand that I open the button with. My opponent is going to struggle to find defends. I have decent amount of the nutted hands that they won't have. Obviously, they're not going to have pocket 9s, pocket 10s, pocket kings. Maybe even in theory some 3-betting of king 10 suited, queen jack suited, hands like this. So I think I can just get away with betting every hand that I have. I think it's like an easy mistake to, when you have one of these hands that's like 10x or 9x, to miss this range bet and just like check behind, maybe with some ace highs as well, like ace queen or ace jack. But looking back, probably just like bet my range for a small bet and do okay. So in game, I check behind with the 9. The turn is the ace of hearts, bringing me the backdoor flush draw, and obviously a pretty good card for me as well, given that a lot of my missed range bets are going to have an ace in them, like pretty natural for me to maybe to check back some ace highs, namely ace queen, ace jack, but also maybe I check back ace 10, ace 9, and then maybe I miss a c bet with some like ace 7, ace 8 or something as well. So ace is a better card for me than him. Checks to me again. I consider betting, but again, I feel like the ace is a card I should bet a lot, but I do have this weird sort of hand class of a pair with the flush draw, so I check back. River is a 6 of diamonds, offsuit, no flush completes for me, and my opponent overbets the river 8,500 into 6,700. So now I have to try and work out like which hands and how I'm going to bluff catch here, given that a lot of my ace-x hands will either have bet flop or turn. I feel, very stripped of two pairs and straights and ace-x or, pair of kings or anything like that since I haven't bet yet. I feel very capped into, I don't know, really, 9x, 10x, maybe some underpairs that don't bet the flop, but I think those, I do find the bet on the flop with those since they benefit more from denying equity. So I start going into the time bank, and then I'm like, all right, well, he doesn't have ace king. He's going to 3-bet pre, maybe 3-bet ace 10 sometimes, maybe not, probably going to call with the ace 10, maybe he has some ace 10. I block the ace 9, I block the 10-9, I block the king 9, I block the 9-6. Like, how is he able to overbet? Maybe a hand like 7-8 wants to overbet. So if, I have 10x and 9x, maybe having a 7 in my hand is good. I have the 9-7, I block the 7-8. I got to call something, I don't have many better hands. This seems like a nice catcher. So I make the call, and he tables queen 3 offsuit, and we win a nice pot. Okay, so after this first hand that we play, we chip up a little bit with the fourth pair call with the 9-7. So we have 60-something thousand. We play a few more pots. It's 6 max, and we're actually 5-handed, waiting for a seat to fill. So action's fast and furious, playing some blinds. And I have 55,000 when we get to still at 600, 1,200 big blind. I pick up pocket jacks. I have a raise to 2,500. My opponent makes it 8,000 in the cutoff. And I decide that jacks is a pretty good hand, pretty bad boards, right position. I'm at this point just over 40 big blinds deep. I don't think there's much non-all-in for betting at 40 big blinds in this configuration. So I decide to move all in with my pocket jacks. And as you will have just seen, my opponent tabled pocket nines. We're in great shape to win 110, 115,000 chips with the big blind at 1,200. 2 starting stacks, nice and early. But ace, ace 5, 9 is the dagger on the turn, and I'm dust, I'm dead. And I went down to 2 big blinds. I was forced all in the next hand. I doubled up. Then I actually got back up to 25k, and then I got deuces all in against king, queen, and it was 5, ace, ace, queen. And we lose the flip, and we're out. Did not re-enter. Pretty rough trip, all things considered. Played 1k hyper, the 1k national, 2 bullets in the 2k, 2 bullets in the 5k main, the 1k satellite into the 10k, bust the 10k, 1600 mystery bounty, bust 1600 mystery bounty, 2k single re-entry yesterday, bust that, and played the 2k 6 max today and bust that. So all in all, like all of these entries, and just couldn't find a cash anywhere. I was 20 from the money in the main event and lost a flip for over 120 blinds with ace king against pocket nines. Really frustrating pot. Would have had a massive stack headed into the money, but I bubbled instead. In the 2k high roller, I was very close to the money and lost a massive pot with jacks against 10s, 10 on the flop. Just like whatever. I'm not sitting here to moan. That's what it is. But when you come here for 10 days into Paris, you play live poker, it'd be nice to make some runs. I hope this vlog, it's the first time I'm doing anything like this, just very rough and ready, me filming on my phone, maybe give you a little insight at what it's like here playing on an EPT. We will try and do some more live poker content. Yeah. Like, comment, rate, subscribe, and hopefully next live trip, which is going to be Dublin for the Irish Poker Open, is a little bit more successful. Thanks for watching. Bye.